So I failed. Over the last about 2 years, I had a lot of plans and including social media and YouTube. And this video is going to be talking about how I failed at pretty much all of them, but why I'm not giving up and why I'm going to keep on going. So let's go back and rewind a little bit to when I first started YouTube and social media back in 2024. Now, we're in 2026 now, and I spent probably 5 solid days within the last 2 weeks wallowing in complete and utter feelings of failure. As I now have returned to a 9 to 5, I will explain why. I quit my full time job when I decided to start social media. I started my YouTube channel, TikTok, and then eventually rolled into Instagram to give it a try as well. And in the middle of all of that, I was supposed to be applying to a PhD program or hopefully doing other things that I had wanted to do, which was move to Asia, maybe teach English. I also wanted to write and explore other areas of interest. All of these things were things that I wanted, which led me to quitting my full time job. And in the middle of that entire year, I had all of these plans and really not many came to fruition. Obviously, I have been on top of YouTube and on top of social media as if you've been aware of the videos that I've been posting, or if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you would know that I post pretty regularly on schedule. There are very few days, very few weeks where I have missed a post, and I do my very best to post quality content that I enjoy and I know I would hope others would enjoy as much as I do. But now, as I return to a 9 to 5, I feel like I failed at social media because even though this was the thing that I wanted to do full time, amongst other things that did not happen, I really wasn't expecting ever to have to go back to being a full time therapist. Quitting my job and starting social media was also a really pivotal point in my life because it was one, terrifying, but also it just felt like I was going against everything I've ever known. So that feeling, it feels like you're driving down the street on the opposite side of the road than you're supposed to be. And I felt that in every cell of my being. But at the same time, nothing has felt more right. And just learning and evolving through making videos, through making content, to constantly being creative has really brought me back to a sense of myself that I probably didn't even remember existed. And that on its own is something that I could never come to regret. So, yeah, I'm in a weird place in my life right now where I just returned to a 9 to 5. And honestly, the first few days of that was really rough for me emotionally and mentally. But I've come to an acceptance that just because I had to do this for right now doesn't mean it's going to be forever. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to quit and not continue to pursue what I wanted to pursue. So I failed at doing the things that I wanted to do within the year that I took off from full time work. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to fail long term or that it can't work out. And I really wanted to share that because sometimes we feel stuck in the moment of what we are now. And obviously, I'm a therapist, so this comes from a double edged sword of personal experience while also talking about scientific research based on how therapy works, right? Emotions and thoughts make us feel like what's happening in the present moment is going to be forever, but it's not. It is just what it is right now. And that's okay because if we allow ourselves to hope that tomorrow could be completely different than today was, one way or the other. And obviously, based on psychology and cognitive behavioral therapy, we want to focus on tomorrow could be completely different than today was in the best of ways, or even in the most average of ways. We want to avoid negative thinking. So, if we focus on that, then we can still have hope for a future of the things that we want to accomplish and the things that we want to do. But yeah, I feel like I failed at social media and YouTube, especially because even though my subscribers are actually growing pretty rapidly right now, which I'm so grateful for, they're not growing as quickly as I've seen other people's growths go. I have seen people post one video and immediately have thousands of subscribers. And the same for social media. I've seen people post one video, a couple videos once in a while and have thousands and thousands, if not millions, of followers on social media. But my growth has felt stagnant. It has felt like not much progress was made, which, to be honest, was really frustrating, especially when I compared myself to other accounts. So that was one thing I had to take a step back on is stop comparing myself. My journey is not anybody else's journey. The way that I see the world is not how anybody else sees the world. The way that I can share a story is very different from what other people can share, which is why I can't bring myself to regret this failure because within the last year, even though I failed at literally everything that I wanted to do during this break, I didn't fail at many other things. I got to spend so much more time with my family, which was something that wasn't planned, but I don't regret. I also got to fulfill a lot of duties as a daughter, a sister, a cousin, granddaughter, which in a lot of ways helped me to realize that I am the prize. I am the one that people should be grateful to have in their lives, to be in my presence, because there's nobody else that will show up for anybody like I do. And I know that because people don't show up for me the way that I show up for them. And to be honest, that realization really was something I needed because now I know that instead of spending all of my energy showing up for everybody else, I am going to start showing up for myself, for the things that I want. And even though I failed in doing that last year, doesn't mean that I'm going to fail in doing that for the rest of my life. And that growth, I'm going to take it as a win. I also got to travel last year a lot to a lot of different places, some new, some not so new. And I got to travel with different people and do different things. And like I said, I got to spend time with loved ones. And all of these different travel experiences helped me learn a lot about myself and those around me as well. I think that that was the biggest growth for me is recognizing the impact that I have towards people and the impact that people have towards me, which can be really hard to see when you're stuck in a routine of a 9 to 5 or just doing the things, a survival mode routine, as I like to call it. And I would also argue that my biggest win last year was publishing my mental health mini guide, which really helped me realize that that is what I want to do for a career. That is what I want to do professionally. I want to be an author. I want to write more books. I want to publish more books. And if I have to do that in the morning when I wake up, or in the evening after seeing clients, or in between sessions where I'm writing chapters and I'm exhausted, then you know what? It's going to be worth it. And that's not going to last forever. It is something that I am going to have to do in combination with having a 9 to 5 right now. I say 9 to 5, it's not really a 9 to 5. The hours for a therapist are kind of different. But it is in combination to having a full-time job that I'm going to have to do this. But now I know that it's worth it because that feeling of being able to say, hey, I'm an author. Yeah, I'm self-published. Yeah, I had to do the editing myself. Well, actually, my sister helped, so shout out to her. That book would not have been published without her, so she deserves a lot of the credit. But if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, which is simultaneously writing two different books. I'm writing a nonfiction book that actually talks a lot about my journey, including the social media journey, and also a fictional book, which was originally what I wanted to do since I don't know, since I was like 4 years old. That was the career that I wanted. That was my dream. So once I publish that book, I know that I will be in a completely different place mentally, whether it does well or not, which hopefully it does, and I can make that my full time job. But whether it does well or not doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is that I'm moving towards the person that I thought I would be. And all of that wouldn't have been able to happen if I hadn't failed at social media, if I hadn't failed at completing all of these plans that I had for my sabbatical from working full time. I failed. But there's so many things that I have learned that I can't bring myself to regret that failure. In fact, I almost want to celebrate it. I want to celebrate that failure because it helps me now find that motivation to continue to push forward, to continue to share my story, to continue to make videos like these and edit them and post them on social media, whether nobody watches it or hundreds of people watch it, because honestly, that's kind of how it works out with my videos. Some of them do well, some of them don't, and that's okay. And I have learned to accept that as it is. It is also just allowing myself the space to continue to move forward without the pressure of having to succeed, because success and failure really is subjective. It means whatever it wants to mean for you, right? So I failed in the sense of what I thought and expected of me to be in the place where I should be right now is not where I am not originally where I thought I would be right now after making all of these changes. And that to me is a failure. But I did gain a lot of things that bring me into realizing that this is not a complete failure. This was a pivot. This is a moment of growth. This is a moment, it's like a semicolon where we're continuing to move forward in what we started while feeling like we're taking a step back. But are we really taking a step back? Maybe not. And only time will be able to tell. So, this video is kind of me asking you to join me in continuing to move forward, whether you feel like you failed like me, or whether you feel like you're still in this growing phase, also like me, we just got to take it one step at a time. And it doesn't mean that any of the things that I said I would do or that I wanted to do are not going to happen. I don't know. I want it to happen. There's so many things that I want to do going forward. And that includes some of the things that I wanted to do within the last year, of course, but it also includes a lot more, because as I grow as a person, there's so many more things I want to do. And I have no idea how they're going to come to fruition, or if they're going to actually happen or not, or and if they do, how it's going to happen. And I'm excited to find out and see how that growth happens. But what I do know is that I'm not giving up. So even though this video is about me failing, I do want you to take out from this that I'm not giving up. I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to continue to post. I'm going to continue to create content. I'm going to continue to be creative, to write, while also doing my best to show up every single day in my life as present as I possibly can, whether that is for my clients at work as I begin a new caseload, whether that is for my family members, my dogs, but more importantly than not, I am going to be showing up and being present for myself. And I'm going to honor what I need every single moment of the day. I'm going to be grateful that even through failure and growth or wins, I'm still alive and we still have so much more to see. So, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. I hope that you join me on this journey. I am so excited to see what comes next. And I really appreciate every single view, every single subscribe, and every single like, and every comment. I actually really love to talk to people in the comments and get to know new people. So, if you've made it this far, please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment below. I'd love to chat. Maybe you can let me know how you failed or how you succeeded. I actually really love to root for people. So if you are succeeding in something, I would love to know. Give me some motivation to keep on moving forward. And I appreciate every single one of you. I will see you soon in the next video.